Let us discuss the answers for the assignment given in the previous session. First main, answer the following. Question 1. What is interconversion of matter? Answer. The process in which matter changes from one state to another and back to original state is called interconversion of matter. Second question. How can matter be changed from one state to another? Answer. Matter can be changed from one state to another by heating or cooling. Question 3. What is sublimation? Answer. The change of state from solid to gas or from gas to solid state without passing through the liquid state is called sublimation. Question 4. What is buoyancy? Answer. The upward force exerted by the liquid on the object immersed in it is called buoyancy. It makes objects float. Second main, name the process which causes the following. First one, disappearance of camphor when heated. Answer is sublimation. Second one, conversion of water into water vapor. Answer is evaporation. Third one, wood floats on water. Answer is buoyancy. Third main, give reason. First one, naphthalene balls kept in a cupboard becomes smaller after a few days. Answer, naphthalene balls kept in a cupboard becomes smaller after a few days because they vaporize due to the heat or temperature of the room. Fourth main, describe an experiment to show the process of sublimation. Aim, to show the process of sublimation. Materials required: camphor crystals, evaporating dish, glass funnel, cotton, spirit lamp. Experiment: a few pieces of camphor are taken in an evaporating dish. Close it with a glass funnel. The other end of the funnel is closed with cotton. The dish is slowly heated with a spirit lamp. Observation: when heated, camphor becomes a vapor and collects on the inner side of the funnel. When heating is stopped, the vapor cools and the fine crystals of camphor are obtained. Conclusion: solids change directly to gas without passing through the liquid state during the process of sublimation. In the previous session, you learned that matter changes when heated or cooled. Solids, when heated, changes to liquid, and liquids, when heated, changes to gas. When gas is cooled, it changes to liquid, and when liquid is cooled, it changes to solid. So the reverse process is also possible. So we took the example of ice. So ice, you heat, you get water. Ice is a solid, water is a liquid. So when ice is heated, we get water, which is a liquid, and if we heat water, it changes into steam or water vapor, which is a gas. So this is on heating. Now if you cool water vapor, we will get back water, which is a liquid, and when we cool water, we get back ice. So the reverse process is also possible. So we can say the process in which matter changes from one state to another and back to original state is called interconversion of matter. This we learnt in the last session. And we also learnt that the change of state from solid to gas or from gas to solid state without passing through the liquid state is called sublimation. And the upward force exerted by the liquid on the object immersed in it is called buoyancy. This makes objects float. So all this we learned in the previous session. Now let's continue the lesson in this session. Let's continue the lesson. You already know that matter has mass and it occupies space. Then what is this mass? Mass is the total quantity of matter present in an object or a substance. So the total quantity of matter, how much matter is present in an object or a substance, that is the mass or the weight. The mass is measured in terms of weight, and the standard international unit, which is also called the SI unit of mass, is kilogram or kg. We usually measure mass or weight in terms of kg, kilogram. Now look at the table. 1000 milligram equal to 1 gram. 1000 grams equal to 1 kg or kilogram. 1000 kilograms equal to 1 quintal. And 1000 kilograms equal to 1 ton. This is the measurement. These are the measurement of mass. Now next is volume. So we know matter has mass and occupies space. And this space occupied by an object is called volume. Volume is nothing but the space occupied by the object. And the unit of volume is cubic centimeter or cc. Next, density. What is this density? It is the amount of mass contained in a unit volume. So density is the amount of mass. Mass is the total quantity of matter present in an object. So the amount of mass contained in an unit volume is called density. Generally, density of the solid is more than that of the liquid. So solids have more density than liquids, and the density of liquid is more than that of the gas, and the density of liquids are generally more than that of the gas. The standard international unit of density is kilogram per cubic meter or kg per cubic meter. So now if we take the example of cotton and iron, take 1 kg of cotton and 1 kg of iron. Now here both iron and cotton, they are taken in equal weights, that is 1 kg. 1 kg cotton, 1 kg iron. Now if you compare both of them, which one is lighter and which is heavier? Yes, cotton is lighter compared to iron. 1 kg of cotton is lighter when compared to 1 kg of iron, because the number of particles present in cotton per unit volume is lesser than the number of particles present in iron. So hence cotton is lighter than iron. Usually when two objects of same size are measured, one may weigh more and the other may weigh less. Generally, we say that the density of less weighing objects will be less and the density of more weighing objects will be more. Here in this case, the density of cotton is less than the density of iron. So, cotton is lighter whereas iron is heavier. Though the weight is same, both are taken the same weight, 1 kg of iron, 1 kg of cotton. But still, the cotton weighs lighter, the cotton weighs less and the iron weighs more. Next is pressure. What is pressure? Pressure is the force exerted on a unit area. Here's an experiment to show pressure. Take a glass container with water. You can see there in the picture. Place a blade horizontally. So take a blade and keep it horizontally on the water. You can see in the first picture, it floats. Now take the same blade and keep it perpendicular to the surface of water. See the second picture. So the same blade is kept perpendicular or it is put vertically inside the surface of water, and see what happens. So in the first case, when the blade was kept horizontally, you can see the blade floating. But in the second picture, you can see that the blade is sinking. So even though the mass of the blade is same, the weight of the blade is same, it floats in the former case. In the first case it is floating, and in the second case it is sinking. What is the reason? When the blade is placed horizontally, its mass is distributed over a wider area. So you can see in the first picture, the blade is placed horizontally and it floats. So when it is kept horizontally, the mass or the weight of the blade is distributed over a big area. Therefore, mass per unit area is less and hence it floats. But when the blade is kept perpendicular to the water surface, it sinks since the mass is distributed over a smaller area. So when the blade is kept perpendicular or vertical to the water surface, it sinks because the mass or the weight is distributed over very small area. But whereas in the first case, the weight is distributed over a big area. Therefore, the consequences depends upon the mass per unit area. And this is called pressure. Now we will learn what is solubility. Now look at the picture. There are two jars A and B and both are filled with water. So fill water in 2 glass jars as shown in the picture. Now pour sugar to jar A. So the first jar A, sugar is poured, and charcoal powder to jar B and stir. So 2 jars are taken and filled with water, and for the first jar A, we put sugar. In the second jar B, we put charcoal powder and we have to stir both the jars. See what happens. Now let's observe what happens. The sugar in jar A dissolves in water. So in the first jar A, we have put sugar inside the water, and now that sugar dissolves in water. You get that sugar solution. But in the second jar B, but the charcoal powder in jar B does not dissolve in water. So we have put charcoal powder in jar B to the water inside it. So the charcoal powder, it does not dissolve. It is like that only. So only some substances dissolve in water. And this is called solubility. And substances which dissolve in water, they are called soluble substances. So example, salt, sugar, milk powder, all this when you put in water and stir it, it will dissolve. So substances which dissolve in water, they are called soluble substances. And the process in which the substances dissolve in water is called solubility. Now there are some substances like charcoal powder and all which do not dissolve in water. So substances which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. For example, charcoal powder, sand, mud, all these, they will not dissolve in water and they are called insoluble substances. So we learnt that substances which dissolve in water are called soluble substances, and substances which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. And the process of substances dissolving in water is called solubility. Here is an activity for you children. First main, choose the objects from the brackets and put them under the correct columns. The words in brackets are salt, sand, sugar, chalk powder, honey, coconut oil, glucose and rice. So now you have 2 columns. The first column, soluble objects in water, and the second column, insoluble objects in water. So look at the words in the brackets and which objects dissolve in water, you will write under the first column, that is soluble objects. Then those objects which do not dissolve in water, you will write in the second column, insoluble objects. Next main, write whether the following objects float or sink in water. Key, rubber band, marble, scissor, feather, straw, coin and dry leaf. So you must tell whether these objects, whether they float or they sink in water. Think of the answers. We will discuss the answers later. Let's discuss the answers for the activity. First main, choose the objects from the brackets and put them under the correct columns. So under the first column, soluble objects in water, the answers are salt, sugar, honey and glucose. All these dissolve in water, so they are called soluble objects. The second column, sand, chalk powder, coconut oil and rice. All these do not dissolve in water, so they are insoluble objects in water. Second main, write whether the following objects float or sink in water. Key, it sinks in water. Rubber band floats on water. Marble sinks in water. Scissor sinks in water. Feather floats on water. Straw floats on water. Coin sinks in water. Dry leaf floats on water. Hope you all got your answers right. Now let's revise what we have learnt in this session. Points to remember. You can also read along with me. First one, mass is the total quantity of matter present in an object or substance. The mass is measured in terms of weight. The standard international unit of mass is kilogram or kg. Second point, volume is the space occupied by an object. Unit of volume is cubic centimeter or cc. Third point, density is the amount of mass contained in a unit volume. Generally, density of the solid is more than that of the liquid and density of liquid is more than that of the gas. The standard international unit of density is kilogram per cubic meter or kg per cubic meter. Fourth point, pressure is the force exerted on a unit area. Fifth point, some substances dissolve in water. This is called solubility. Sixth point, substances which dissolve in water are called soluble substances. Examples, salt, sugar, etc. Seventh point, substances which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. Examples, charcoal powder, sand, etc. The last point, oil floats on water as the density of oil is lesser than the density of water. Here is an assignment for you children. First main, fill in the blanks. First one, the space occupied by an object is called dash. Second one, SI unit, that means Standard International Unit. SI unit of mass is dash. Third one, SI unit of volume is dash. Fourth one, the force exerted on a unit area is called dash. Second main, define the following. First one, mass. Second one, density. Define means you must write what is mass and what is density. Third main, give reason. Wood floats on water. Fourth main, answer the following. Question 1. What is solubility? Second one, what are soluble substances? Give 2 examples. Third one, what are insoluble substances? Give 2 examples. Next one, why does oil float on water? Answer all these questions in your notebook. We will discuss the answers in the next class. Thank you.